Yo everyone, welcome to GB. I'm Brian.
I am Gombo.
And this is Gombo and
Brian.
What's up guys? How y'all doing? How you feeling, Omar?
Those are really high intro alafu unarudi chini.
I know, right?
Unatuangusha
like
bwana.
Anti-climax. yeah.
Anyway, I'm feeling fantastic, Brian. And how are you?
I'm feeling Brianish, man. Like I'm so amazing and feeling great, you know. So
You're just
blessed.
full of Brian.
Yeah, like Brian.
Well, you are full, so.
What the I'm saying? Anyways, like today's topic. Yo, man. Hey, interesting topic. Mm-hmm. We are going to be talking about violence against the boy child.
The boy child.
The boy child.
Are you guys being violated?
Mm-hmm.
You can call 07. No, don't call me. Mi siwezi kusaidia walai.
Okay, by the way, but like on a serious note, man,
Yeah.
there's literal violence against boys, like just boys and men, right? Like people don't understand that gender-based violence covers both women and men. Like men, you can also have violence against, and we're not just talking about like physical violence.
Yeah.
Remember about physical, man. Emotional violence, emotional damage, like psychological violence as well, and any other kind of violence. Spiritual, no spiritual violence.
Spiritual violence.
Well, we'll see about it.
Yeah,
man.
we'll see about it.
But yeah, like Omar, when you're talking about violence against boys, you're a boy, I'm assuming. Well, I mean, so like Omar, when you encountered violence as a boy, what was it like?
Kijana.
And are you a boy?
Very tough questions, actually.
I know.
We discussed with Homeland Security no. But still, I don't think I've encountered violence personally as a boy. I am a boy, Brian.
We hope. One can only hope.
I have not encountered violence, but I like what you said earlier about gender-based violence being covering both boys and... I mean, it's gender-based violence. We were arguing with one of our cameramen, Rogers, about gender-based violence, and he was like, kwani are you guys women? You're going to speak about violence against boys. Kwani are you guys... Then I was like, no, like gender-based violence stands for both boys and girls. Like both can get violence. Like emotionally, there's the other one that you said. Psychologically,
and
physically, spiritually, manhoodically.
Yes, and like, you know, but by the way, we're even talking about violence against men.
Yeah.
And people like forget that violence against men can also be violence inflicted by other men, right? Or even the society in general. Like, let's talk about the boy child, for example.
Yeah.
I have been saying that the society has been very violent towards the boy. Not even like physically. Let's like talk about the psychological sense of it. The fact that as a boy, you're supposed to grow up and you're supposed to be a man and you're supposed to cater for everyone. Like, you're literally growing up to take care of other people.
Yeah.
Literally, just a tiny boy. And you're told that your future is to take care of other people. I think that's a bit of violence.
Actually, I don't like that notion of people saying that men are not supposed to express their feelings. Men are not men or boys.
Violence.
I mean, that's emotional violence. Boys are not supposed to cry. Boys are not supposed to, like, even these days, if you're seen trying to express yourself, it's considered as a taboo as a boy, you see.
Like, for real,
I mean that's not right. I mean you're human. I mean, you're human for a reason. You're not an animal. And plus, let's not forget, we always talk about girls being raped. We always talk about FGM. I know those are serious issues that are actually affecting our community, and those are serious afflictions that affect our girls.
Yeah,
but then we forget that there is a really high number of boys being sodomized out there.
Oh my God!
This is something that's happening.
People forget about sodomy.
Actually,
do you know that rape can actually happen to boys as well?
Yes,
right?
yes.
What is rape? Rape is any forced sexual like scenario.
Exactly. Yeah.
Meaning it does not just apply to like girls alone. Boys get sodomized like a lot. In fact, it's scary the amount of times boys actually sodomized, and they're afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
Because of not just sodomy is physical violence towards a boy, right? But when they speak out, they get psychological. No, sodomy is actually physical and psychological violence. Because man, you're traumatized. Like, the little boy just got sodomized. He's scared. He's worried. He doesn't understand what just happened. And then when he tries to express himself, emotional violence comes.
Yeah, because you find that you see, like, we've been in that environment whereby if a boy goes to tell someone that I have been done this on my body, it is like it's something so awkward,
Which
we're
I
not
don't
taught to
understand.
express ourselves.
Like it is
well,
so awkward.
yeah.
It is so
It's not
awkward.
good.
Like for a boy to say I've been hurt. Do you know I was listening to a story about a boy who got forcefully circumcised, not in Kenya though, in Somalia, and the boy was like, I got hurt and injured and I was bleeding every day, but I could not say. Because like I was worried if I said they would all like laugh at me. And when I did,
because this thing, like, you see,
did.
people, I mean that's also a story I think I've heard of, and this is what I actually said. According to like the way we've grown up in the traditional African society and all that, it is believed that that is a rite of passage. Unakuwa like you're becoming a man. So if you complain and if you say you're bleeding and you're crying, you'll be considered you're not even a man. You see, and one thing, sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. One thing
under the weather.
One thing I'd really love people to know and to say is, when you're circumcising, when your child has reached that age of being circumcised, your boy specifically, when your boy has reached that age of being circumcised, explain to them the health importance of being circumcised. Tell them that when you're circumcised, you have a 60% chance of not acquiring any of the STDs. You have a 60% chance of you being more healthy sexually and all that. I mean, try and we are in the modern times.
It should be a personal choice, by
Yeah.
the way. I mean, I know, like, for me personally, I'm Kikuyu, right? So for me, culture dictates that I be circumcised at a certain age, right? But I feel like it should be a personal choice, especially to many children out there. It should not be forced to them. In fact, it is a very valid like health.
But then at the same time, it's governed by religion. I don't know, like if
For us,
because
it's
most
more
of the
culture than religion.
okay.
I guess, like, for me, it was because of culture, not religion.
It was because of culture.
Yeah.
Well, me, it was because of religion, because you find that if both Christians and Muslims, we believe that we all come from the same father, Abraham, and Abraham was the first man to go through this process. And you find that even though it's culture, even though it's religion, it just has to happen,
Yeah, like it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But then again,
I don't think when our father underwent through it, aliambiwa is now a man.
No, by the
What did that happen?
by the that didn't happen.
Like and the
circumcision-
wife is the one who did it. So
yeah, like for it, like in circumcision was a sign that you are a chosen one of God, not
Yeah.
that you are a man.
It's
Why
not
did
like
that even come. And Omar, by the question comes here. Who decides what or who a man is? Because me, I want to know. There's this notion where like when you cry in front of women, they're like, what kind of a man are you?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just asking, like, who gave women the mandate to discuss or to decide who a man or a boy is?
they came from ribs.
Like, no offense intended here, but
Yeah.
I don't believe that anyone, no woman, no man has a right to dictate what kind of a boy or what kind of a man you are. I mean, after all, like, no matter what they say, it won't change your like physical being. I think you require special surgery to change your physical. Yes.
We're going to have a conversation quite soon about gender definition, and we're going to speak extensively about this. We have to have that interesting conversation. And actually, I was talking to our very own I think psychologist in the organization, Mora, and she was telling me about how we should be able to speak about these issues. We should speak about how about realization of yourself. When did you realize yourself? Like
I see. Quite an interesting conversation.
Because let me tell you something. Because
do not deviate, Omar. Let's go back to violence against the boy child. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So we just discussed like physical, emotional, psychological violence towards the boy. Now, like question is,
yes,
what can the society do to try and reduce violence against the boys? Like physically, like that is so simple. Do not beat the boy up, man.
Yeah.
Like not just the boy. We're talking about like zero violence towards children. No violence against children. Violence, people like think of the physical. Yes, it is very wrong to beat a boy up. It is. But I mean, of course, like we also have to think about the fact that violence against children can also be inflicted by other children.
Yeah.
As boys, like there's that notion that you have to fight to prove that you're a man.
You're a man, yeah.
Kijana utapigwa. Do not fight. I personally, if you look at me, I'm pretty huge. That means that people don't like bully me as often as you think. But I'm really against violence. Like, Omar, have you ever seen me fight?
Well, not with actions, but with words. I guess you're pretty good at that. But then thank you so much, Brand, for bringing that up. I mean, I'm going to challenge even our judicial? No, our justice system towards how the boy child is treated when he or she no when he actually not he or she when he has been found with a girl committing
Thank you.
is it that act or whatever.
like,
I mean, I was so shocked when I was reading the act actually when it was speaking about you see there's the issue of an adult who is a boy does this
man.
act. Yeah, that's a male, whatever. I mean, does this act to a child or a girl who is now 17, 16, 15. You find that that's defilement, and this man can be jailed. It depends with the times.
Can be. In fact, in cases of defilement, we don't even like speak about it anymore. If an adult has like intercourse or with a child, but like you deserve to go to prison. You are messed up.
Yeah. So you find that if the girl is around 15, 16, 17, the man is jailed for 30 years, right? And then for 14, 13, 12, the man is jailed for life. And then for 10 and below, you are killed. You're supposed to be killed. Yeah, but then I found this other thing of if a boy and a girl who are both underage and they consent to doing this action, we're talking about
like
sex.
correction, Omar. Children cannot consent to any form of sexual activity. So maybe if it was
they saw them in movies.
It was not a case of rape. Right.
Yeah.
Between two children.
Yeah.
Maybe you can continue.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like if you find that the law is a little bit harsher to the boy,
it is
than to the girl.
Not even the law, Mar. Let's say the truth right now. A boy and a girl have like consensual sex, right?
Yeah.
And the girl gets pregnant, or even like they're found in the act. With like, let's say, a bunch of men and women like this, like a mob. Who do you think is going to get beat up, man?
Kijana anacharazwa design fly, which is not right, by the way.
It is not. As much as we condemn and absolutely reject any form of early sex, like sex between children, it's completely legal and should not happen, right? But if it happens and like the authority in play here like comes into contact with such a case. They should not in any case prefer or like favor the girl. We should all be treated with respect, dignity, and fairness, because that is the point of the judiciary.
Right? I mean the both of them, because I saw that the boy gets kama ako under 18, of course anaenda kwa the institutions 3 years. The girl just goes for counseling,
and then after that goes back to school. I mean, we even have cases of girls going to school after or when they're pregnant, and even after they give birth. Right?
Yes.
Now, my question always goes like to, as much as we're taking care of these girls, they did not get pregnant on their own, right? What about the boys who are still under 18?
Yes.
These boys are taken to institutions. They're not in any way reintegrated to the society. They're not in any way taken to counseling, which is not right. I don't think it's fair.
That's exactly.
If we're taking back the girls to school, the boys should also go to school.
That's actually where I was driving this whole conversation to. If we are taking the girls to counseling for them to be taught on how they can now stay away from this act, how they can be able to, if they're pregnant, how they can take care of the child and all that, I think the boy should be able to get the same. He should get teachings on how he can now prepare, maybe if the girl got pregnant, how he can also prepare psychologically and all that, and how also he can also be taught on how this act is not right, and he should be able to create that awareness also to the others and explain to them why they should also stay away from this act. But then you find that we're like that. The society. Anyway, Brad, so let's give our suggestion. I think we are almost running up. Our time is almost running up.
Actually,
let's give
before we even go to that, I just want to speak to like another form of violence.
Yes.
In terms of like fashion and dressing.
Hey, right? Yes. Yeah.
I mean, we are in an age where there is no like masculine clothes, because like women can wear any kinds of clothes they like. Yeah. Let's be honest. Me, I don't know any form of clothing, even boxers. Hey, they're wearing boxers. Like any form of clothing that a girl cannot wear. Right? Yeah. But they are definitely feminine clothing, or even feminine colors. Yeah. Like there are some colors that are too feminine for boys. Isn't that like a form of violence? Like judging boys based on what they wear. Shouldn't we like have clothes for everyone? Well, I understand it might be a bit awkward to like walk around with a dress, but I mean, these days people walk around with dresses, with like, let's talk about makeup, Omar. Should boys be allowed to wear makeup?
Well, wait, you're asking me that question?
I am asking you that question.
I mean, let me just be honest. I mean, as a journalist, I believe that we have to be apply that cap powder for the lights and all that. But for boys, allow me to say that if you want to look good, there's no problem. If you want to look amazing, there's no problem. It's all about you. It's all about your choice. Make the right choice according to you.
Exactly. I mean, do you know there was like so like so much controversy? It was just like applying chapstick or even like just oil on your lips, man, when you're in class. You do that and you're the outcast for the week, man. Which is it's not right.
You're given the bone.
I do not understand what that means. But like I'm saying, we literally shouldn't judge anyone. And towards like violence, my suggestion is simple, man. Treat the child as a child. Do not stop a boy from being a boy because you know what a boy is. Technically, the weird thing is that most people who like try to tell people what a boy is are not even boys, right? So like, let's be more open and more accepting towards the boy as a boy, right?
Indeed.
Let's not be violent to them. Let's not dictate what they should be or what they shouldn't, because we are all human. We are all like designed to be what we want, and we have the freedom of that, and it is in our rights to be allowed to be a child of Kenya freely and without any constraints. Peace you all.
Well, I think what I'm going to say is allow your child to be able to explore, and also ensure that you teach your child. As I'm talking to the parents, ensure that you teach your child the ways on how they can be able to grow up in a society with good moral values, and in turn will have a future that is amazing, a future that is bright. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to GB, Gombo, and
Brian. How you guys, by the way?
we'll see you next time.